Hello and welcome back to another day in the arena. It's me, it's CGB. Today in the arena, we are playing a spicy Spirit Sisters Call Saga and Titan Reanimator / Leyline Binding Mulch Soul of Windgrace deck. Just your typical day in the arena. Did I mention 5 colors? No, I think I even forgot to throw in the Wooburgness of the pile. This deck today isn't one I completely built myself. In fact, I can't take any credit for it at all. I found it on a little-known gem of a site. If you Google MTGO deck lists, you get a big old list of events that took place on Magic Online, an old program that you've probably not heard of because I'm sure all of you are under the age of 20 and complete Zoomers. But once upon a time, back in the day, Magic Online was how people played Magic Online, and now it looks like a very dated format. Hearthstone came out, kicked its butt, so Wizards got their stuff together and they built MTG Arena, and a lot of people don't pay attention to MTGO anymore. But the people who play MTGO still are grizzled veterans of the game, and also they are indeed, I would say, passionate deck brewers and players who really participate in the events and keep the program very active. And they play competitive events almost every weekend, including standard ones. So it's a cool place to get deck lists that, you know, people are putting a lot of work into that don't always get the time of day. So this one comes from Alarmobot, who played this in a league, pulled off a 5-0 in a league. That's usually a sign of at least a deck worth paying attention to. And it is an absolutely wild pile of God knows what, but it has a lot of new cards, so I'm going to quickly cover kind of the saga-ness of it. For everything you see in the saga category, in the enchantment category, think about Spirit Sisters Call. This is a reusable reanimation spell, so while we're all excited about cards like Cruelty of Gix, Spirit Sisters Call comes down, and every single end step, you can sacrifice a permanent on the battlefield to get back a matching permanent type from the graveyard, reusing sagas, or sacrificing creature tokens to get things like, I don't know, Soul of Windgrace, or Titan of Industry. That's really strong stuff. That's a lot of value. So think about that as we go over the other cards. You've seen most of these, but I mean, Mulch we haven't seen in a while. The ability to dig into the deck, fill the graveyard, and also hit your land drops is pretty crucial to this deck's kind of sneaky reanimator strategy. Teachings of Kieran plays along with that as well. We've seen this on the channel recently. The Weatherseed Treaty we may not have seen. This is 2 and a green for a read-ahead saga that on Chapter 1 searches for a basic, sweet for a domain deck. Chapter 2 searches for a 1/1 green Saproling, creates a 1/1 green Saproling token. Pretty sweet with Spirit Sisters Call. And then Chapter 3, +X and trample, where X is the number of land types you control. So it's often a +4 or +5 trample on that last chapter. So you hit the opponent extra hard. But I mean, this does play right into the curve that we talked about. You can play this on turn 3. You can go get a land because it goes onto the battlefield. You can untap, play an untapped land, cast Spirit Sisters Call, sacrifice the token, get back a Titan of Industry that went to the graveyard on turn 2 from Teachings or Mulch. And the next turn, I mean, it's a 12/12. If you use the domain on it, I mean, that's wild. That's a lot. That's a lot of power. And if you end up playing a longer grindy game, which this deck is fantastic at, you have 4 copies of the Kami War that you can recycle with Spirit Sisters Call. Imagine turning all these cheaper enchantments into Kami Wars. Now you're getting an idea of what this deck does. And you can also turn them into Binding, which can be a 1-mana flash removal spell in the deck. So it's so good. There's even this card, I was like, really? Really? I mean, 3 green for a 4/4 spirit with reach. It looks like it should be an elk spirit. Just saying. And when it enters the battlefield, you look at your top 5 and you can grab a creature or enchantment card, but there's so many enchantments and creatures, this thing doesn't usually whiff. If it were to whiff, you do gain 4 life. But this is like, it's a sweet little value card that you just can keep reanimating and recurring to get extra value out of it, to dig for the cards you really need. Usually you're digging for Spirit Sisters Call, Leyline Binding, or Kami War. Sometimes you grab Titan, but it's solid stuff. And through all this, we're putting cards in our graveyard, so Lord Windgrace is going to give us the mana needed to do all the busted things we need to do. It's a lot, just watch the games. Today's patron shout out, goes to Bjorn Brokart. How'd I do? Rate my pronunciation. Anyway, you signed up at the shout out tier. If you want to make me pronounce your name here on a video and get it dedicated to you, check out the link in the description. Patreon, Covert Go Blue. And thank you, Bjorn. Bjorn? You're very cool. Let's dive in. Let the nonsense begin. Okay, we don't have a turn 2 mulch. In fact, we have to draw land to do anything, but I guess after this really slow hand, we'll have a Soul of Windgrace? Maybe? I don't know. I don't know what I'm keeping. We all gotta start somewhere learning about our deck. This is like the mid-rangiest mid-range. And it looks like our opponent's on green. Green-white. They were in the World Championship? XXV11? XXVII? I'm being silly. They gave out these sleeves just for, you know, playing some guessing, like, pseudo-gambling game associated with it. All right, basic, onto the battlefield tapped, make a 1/1, and pump stuff. Let's go. I don't have any swamps yet, so I guess I'm fetching the swamp. Look at all those basics. Wedding announcement, sure. I has 1/1. All right, no lands in graveyard, so it's mulchin time. I said it's mulchin time. Jeez, why has it gotta be so difficult? Okay. How did I know my first mulch would whiff? I just knew. But look at that graveyard. Stocked. We are a Spirit Sister's Call from True Glory, I think. If I understand the deck. Alright, I've got a 6/6. It has trample. Nice. I've also got Kami War, which takes out the Hallowed Haunting. Let's make blue, red, black, white, green. All right, I just gotta make sure I'm actually gonna cast it with the land I want to play. It's kind of a big deal. Have 6. How you doing? Yeah. All right. No Hallowed Haunting, please. I think it's more important to get rid of that than the wedding announcement. Here's where the green-white enchantment deck is in a lot of trouble if they're relying on cards like Borrowed Time. Okay, they're gonna punch me. They're gonna really punch me. All right, I see you. You're also swinging for the fences here. That draws a card. These get bigger. So what do we bounce? We could go after the tokens, but I think what I'm exiling is the naturalist. So yeah, let's go after the tokens. If we can keep them low on creatures and buy time for Kami War to flip, we'll be okay. Discard a Sarah Paragon. Wow. Exile you. Save this as a blocker. I think I'll play this as a tapped land. Even though I kind of want to land in the graveyard for Windgrace. Top 5 reveal creature or enchantment or gain 4 life. Might need the life at this rate, especially if the opponent removes this little token. Look at them getting in there for the damage. Yeah. My laugh total. Dead to a 3rd Reign of Truth there. Boseiju who endures, huh? Okay. We're gonna take it. Let's go get a basic. At this point, we want to draw these lands to cycle them. Another Kami War. All right, he has no creature. Your Paragon is gone. We're at 3, which kind of makes me want to play Soul of Windgrace and discard lands for life. I could also gain life off the Prancer, but I think it's better just to get the war going. And we'll get rid of one of the Reigns of Truth because it's about to become a creature. And we'll hold the land because we can discard it to Soul of Windgrace. Spirited Companion. That's a good way to start rebuilding if they can chain off a few enchantment creatures here. But they run into a land. Alright, we're returning something that gets discarded and they didn't hold. So I guess the portrait can go. And I'll play Windgrace, which gets their Boseiju. Nice. And I'll play the Prancer, because we can just gain 4 life here, or we can grab one of these and probably absolutely take over this game. Titan seems good. Man, that top 4 was stacked. Catilda, trying to go the distance. All right, Windgrace. Discard a land for 3 life. Attack. I guess I can attack with the Prancer. If the Catilda blocks it, and then I play Titan and blow up an enchantment, they lose Catilda. Feels good. Prancer has done Prancer's job. Thanks for the mulch, dude. My entire library can get mulched. You go to 1. Here's a Titan. We destroy target enchantment. I'll just gain 5. Good to be sure. Your dog. I take your dog. Because otherwise they can just enchant the dog. And the opponent's seen enough. Deck went absolutely smash. Another tap land go first, but we have binding. So I actually think we keep it. Always makes me angry when that dragon shows up right as I'm trying to find my perfect land play. Plains Island. Dog. Okay. So teachings or mulch. We have a land to play this turn, so let's go teachings. Put some weird cards in the graveyard for our opponent to peruse. Nobody plays that stuff. What you gonna name? I have a mulch that I really need to cast, so you might want to name that, because if I don't draw a land, you could brick me. Then I have 2 Kami Wars that will probably take over the game if I do cast them. I also have a ley line binding that can just remove your Peacekeeper if I find it annoying. Binding it is. Yep, gotta name the removal spell. Do we just trade with the dog? Nah, let's take the +1/+1 counter. All right, mulch, help me. Thank you. Good job. Now what? I think it's you. That reduces the binding once again. And we are on the move. We have very expensive and powerful cards we're eager to get going. We also still don't have a land in the graveyard, though, for the soul. All basics versus all tri-lands. So unfair. Alright. They probably run Paragon. Let's kill the token instead of the pupper. It's an interesting card. It's too bad I can't get a reduction on it. It would be perfect. I think we play Soul, though. Maybe I'm supposed to just bind this Adeline and call it good. It is a very scary card, and I should probably do it before Make Disappear comes down. And then we play Kami War next turn. Seems very strong. It's just too bad I can't double spell through any combination of these cards. I got a Spell Pierce? No. Got a Slip out the back? No. What was holding priority there? Syncopate? Let's call it a Syncopate. Gotta play around Syncopate. Tranquil Cove, gain a life. Well, you gotta play those non-basics sometimes. You want to tangle? They're not sure if they want to tangle. They want to tangle. Wandering Emperor could be very bad. Let's take it. Basic Island. With all that mana open too. They can make me pay 3 for anything. They're definitely planning to counter something here. So I guess what I really want is to Ganjo this turn. And the problem is if they do have a Wandering Emperor and they play it. So they don't want to play the Wandering Emperor here, right? There's no way. But they will if they see the Ganjo. But the Ganjo can't save the Peacekeeper. So yeah, let's send you in. Make a +1/+1 counter. I guess we're at 12. Let's try to at least save our life total a little. Alright. Exile a non-creature from a graveyard. I choose Mulch. Don't think I'll need that one anytime soon, and we need to curate the graveyard. Cool. I thought they might play an Emperor there and exile this, but they haven't. They still haven't. Okay. They have. I think we did a good job making sure we got what we could from it to get rid of that Peacekeeper. Now we have to figure out how to navigate this Syncopate before this Emperor takes over the game. I think the idea is cast Soul of Windgrace. They don't really want that to resolve. It gets a land back. Ooh, we've only got 2 open right now. Alright, no attacks. They're afraid. So, Syncopate for 2 does cut off the Kami War, which has to be what's on their mind. We'll play this Soul Protected. Can't play around and make disappear anyway. If I attack here, they'll block, right? Let's do that first. Maybe they have a trick. Make them have it. Okay. Now they don't have the casualty on Make Disappear if they wanted to counter this. Take the Ganjo. Can cycle this island. Or just keep hitting land drops. Playing against Syncopate, we need to keep hitting land drops, right? But we'll cycle the other land. So we have something to get when this attacks next turn. Tough game. Tough game. Blue-white has a lot of tricks. You have a 2/2.
May your blade strike.
Nothing else. Alright, I will draw. We're leaving up all that mana. Another land. Teachings. That's a good little curve fill. Alright, let's see if we can get this attack. Keep getting those lands back from the graveyard. Keep getting further ahead of their Syncopate. Remember, they know about these cards. That's influencing a lot of how they're playing here. Letting the Emperor die? Love your Emperor. You must protect your Emperor. Alright, so 6 mana. They can make me pay 5. Let's go for this. Fill that graveyard, baby. And we'll draw with Windgrace, and we'll say go. We could try drawing now to hit something else, but I like having the indestructible ability. We got a Plains in the graveyard now to get back. It's Overgrown Farmland will be there. Should be pretty good. Of course, Farewell's a problem, right? It's got to be just about Farewell time, but if they tap out for the Farewell, they get Kami Ward. Or Tightened. And then they have to solve those. So pacing our threats here is probably going to pay off very well. We got a wedding announcement. Congratulations. But now the Syncopate's only for 3.
Until next time.
Does probably mean they have a Farewell, though, and that's something that is a problem. And they got rid of their Wandering Emperor, so they might have another. Ooh, Spirit Sister's Call. Ooh. Sack the creature, get back a Titan. Seems really good. I don't have a good recourse to a Farewell, though, do I? So we have to draw it out. There's no other way. And they're getting so much value off their enchantments. The Call might be the last thing we want to play, but it does hit graveyards, right? So they're going to hit graveyards when they play it. So we need to get value out of the Spirit Sister's Call while we can. So they've got 4 up. They might exile this. If they do, call, turn 1/1 into Titan. Titan blows up Wedding Announcement. Shield counter is probably irrelevant. Make 4/4. All right. Probably Emperor fodder right here. Mulch. So do we go for this call? If the opponent just exiles this with the Emperor this turn, it's kind of a disaster. So I guess we're going to call. Could get double make disappeared. Would be sad. Okay. Nice. So many options. So many options. I mean, what's the best thing to get exiled? All of this is going away, I'm sure. But I guess we'll go for a Kami War instead of a Titan, just in case they run a conventional Wrath instead of a Farewell. And I'm actually giving them back Adeline, because I am so certain it's a Farewell that I don't want them to get a free Adeline after the Farewell. That's how certain I am. So they're going to draw. This is going to do a thing. They can draw another card, but they're going to exile it, so it doesn't matter. So we'll just take out their Adeline. All right, this Farewell drops. It's time to get into heavy hitter magic. Whoa. Okay. Opponent's gonna play through? Weird. Very weird. We'll take that. If they don't deal with the call, it's gonna get crazy. Oseju who endures. Alright, bounce a permanent and the opponent discards. I don't want to bounce their Adeline in case this is still Farewell Gaming. What is this? If I bounce this, is that good? I get to mill again. It's not great, right? Let's just target here, make them discard. What a weird game. What a weird game. I'd be lying if I said I think I played it perfectly or something. Ayo. All right, Windgrace, go get him. Keep the lands coming. All right, a token takes one for the team. Every decision's tough. All right, so there's a 4-point syncopate or a 4-point make disappear. So then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we could go for like a Titan or a Kami War. Let's go for a Kami War. If you're gonna play cards like Syncopate, you can't be too obvious. Did I forget the treasure? Nope, I got it. If you're too obvious, you'll get absolutely played around. So, could take out the wedding announcement. I do have a Boseiju for it, but I want to discard Boseiju to the Soul of Windgrace. And I want to get back a Titan to take out the announcement. Let's just go straight for the Adeline. And let's get a Titan. Sacking the token. Destroying the wedding announcement. Shield counter is probably no good. 4/4. I'm just gaining the life, you know. I just suspect. I suspect the farewell so strongly. Gotta force him to use it. And then let the big monsters out to play. 28 cards for me. Another announcement. Uh-huh. Well, at the pace we're going, now they've used up their Bank Buster. They're slowly running out of cards. They can't keep goofing with me this way. There's AO. Does this say when it leaves the battlefield? Yeah, so we can't bounce this with our Kami War to loop, but we can start it with the next Kami War. That's for a wedding announcement draw? I'll just deny them the wedding announcement draw then. That's desperate. Maybe they don't have the farewell after all this time. They've got this syncopate. They don't have the farewell. All right, let's bounce the AO. We could also bounce the Titan. And then play the other Kami War so that we're not too heavy on the battlefield and we've got a Titan ready to go in the future. Yeah, because don't we have another Titan down here? We do. Okay, this is fun. This is very fun. Oh, I got it back with the call, so I just exiled it. Okay, don't do that. It's a very bad magic play by me. No excuse. No excuse. Hey, that Boseiju. Look at all the lands the Soul of Windgrace has gathered. It's been awesome. All right. Weather Seed Tree Folk. We'll go get the land. Or I guess maybe I should have trampled there, but they're still at 24. All right. And what do we get back? How do we get a little bit of value here? In case they do draw farewell. Just grab the treaty. Sacrificing the treaty. Brilliant. Just thinning out the deck. Is that okay? I'm gonna give them a chance to show me the syncopate because I really do want to be right. Ah, I wasn't right about farewell, but God, was I right about that syncopate? Hell yeah! All right, I'm exiling the syncopate just for the LOLs. I should be exiling like mulch from my graveyard. I don't think it's going to matter. Okay, down to 7. They're going to exile graveyard, so we'll just get a Titan and max value here. Going to destroy your treasure. Going to gain 5 life. They could play farewell and not name artifact and keep their treasure. We're not having it. We ran them out. We exhausted their pile. That was a fun anti-syncopate game. Good hand that's missing black. I think we'll try it anyway. We got the teachings into the teachings. We'll have board presence early and often. Here comes an evolved sleeper. Oh boy. Do we try to mulch and hit our red source already? It depends where you think it is. Do you think it's... I said red, I mean black. Do you think it's deeper in the library? Or do you think it's closer to the top? If you think it's deeper, you know, what do you believe about the shuffler? I believe it's deeper. I am an anti-shuffler conspiracy. And of course, there it is. Easy. No problem. Make them activate it. Keep them off curve. No. We get a +1/+1 counter next turn. And it looks like they wanted to activate it anyway. And we draw the black source. What a boss. What a boss. I'm the greatest. The greatest. Uh-huh. More teachings. Do we attack them? Do we attack them? Yeah, I do. I feel bold and strong. I am a brave 5-color domain gamer in a mono-black world. I'm not afraid of your attacks. I have life gain in the form of Blossom Prancer. I am fearless. One trespasser cannot stop me. Look at all the stuff down there. They're going for the soul. Okay. I have a 3/3. Do we keep attacking them? We're at 15, they're at 19, but they don't know about our life gain capabilities, do they? I like the idea of shoving some of this aggression down their throat. These black decks, they try to play aggro way too much. It's because all the mono white and mono red gamers switch to them. And they try way too hard to be the aggressor. It can get them into trouble. You see them contemplating, but they attacked me. What can I do? How should I... What? What do you... They attacked me? How do I defend with my 3/3 and my other 3/3? Bell Stinger? What you gonna do with that? Nothing? Ah, we got them. We got them shook. They're shook. I love it. All right, let's mulch for some land. If we have a land to discard to Windgrace, it can become indestructible. Good, good, good. Good, good, good. Do we attack with the Kieran just to pump something? I don't think so. These are good. I do think they're going to die to a meat hook, actually. So maybe I do attack with them. +1/+1 counter here. Want to make this token bigger than meat hook and very hard to kill. More lands from Soul. One has found their blocks. We will go indestructible. Oh yeah. Hold or play? With mulches in hand, let's play. We'll find more land, I believe. The cut down has finally been cast. But we have 2 creatures ahead of a meat hook, so we know they don't want to play that. Unfortunately, now we've lost our Kirin touched Oroki. Therefore, we can't keep growing these creatures, so the opponent might be able to get us. Sheoldred. Oh, back to the aggro. Our phone back to the aggro. Hold on now. What you gonna do? Take a land? Yes, they might. This is where drawing a Leyline Binding would be sweet. Maybe we're supposed to prance for it. Weird to say. Spirit Sister's Call. No Titans, but there is an enchantment. How do we get... We need another enchantment. Can we sacrifice the call? Choose target permanent card in your graveyard. Sacrifice permanent that shares a type. Yeah, we can sack the call for it. We can sack the call. All right, let's mulch first. Yay, hits. Would have been a bad time to whiff. Just you, I guess. Stupid Sheoldred. Opponent takes it. So do we absolutely have to use Spirit Sister's Call in this way? It would have been really nice if we'd hit a Titan, of course. Do we really want to sack this to get a binding? Because the opponent can invoke Despair and just get it right back. And that's not good. We don't want that. So I kind of think we stall another turn. Maybe we use Mulch here and we save the ability to give this indestructible. Or we play the Prancer and dig. Yeah, let's play the Prancer. What are they going to do? Hook? They might hook. But if they hook, we Kami War the Sheoldred, so life is good. Trying to decide whether or not to hold this to cycle, but I think we need to keep hitting every land drop. Our plays get so much more powerful the more land we have. Yeah, it's an interesting turn where they could invoke Despair. That would be really nasty. Oh, just you? Okay, so they do have a hook? Or they just want to pump this and give it Death Touch and trade with something? I mean, okay, make you do it, I guess. Let's try to keep this out of the graveyard because of the Trespasser. Is their hand 4 Invoke Despairs? LOL. Be pretty funny. Virus Beetle? You monster. Oh, leaning into the discard angle. I hate it so much, I love it. Kami War. We found the answer. And the opponent doesn't have an answer to that. Teachings, Fable, Leyline Binding. My goodness. We need a blue source. Not a good enough reason to mulligan for sure. Xander's Lounge. I'm gonna get another 3-color Grixis pile. Our opponent has Bolus on an owl, I guess. So yeah, Grixis for sure. We should be like, they're gonna have to have things go really well for them, because we should just be a ton of value for a Grixis pile to cope with. Like, how are they gonna deal with all those enchantments? They can attack the graveyard pretty well. Like, we kind of saw them check the graveyard there. They must have a Corpse Appraiser. We're going to try to play around that a little. Like, we're not just going to throw this Titan in the graveyard too soon if they're going to Corpse Appraise. Trying to get a cut down out of them. Or a Vortex? Sure, that's fine. I really would love for this little Fable Gobble Shaman token to live, but it won't. The Harvester will take care of it, I'm sure. Yeah, Mono Sagas, deal with it. Shelly. Untap. Get it. Yay, punished for playing Shelly. Oh, and draw another. Awesome. All right, discard. I do think they have the Corpse Appraiser, so we're holding the Titan. Do I discard any of this, really? Maybe the Teachings. Like, I don't feel like I need another. Yeah, now they can appraise their own corpse. Oh, look at this Harvester. I just hung out with him. I was at the Blood Bar with him last night. All right, they go for Liliana. Sure.
I've always hated crowds.
Ooh, the call. The call. It's so good. What do we sacrifice to get what? Can sacrifice a Reflection to recycle a Fable. We can sack a Binding to get something there. I guess none of those are particularly good yet. We should probably set up more. It's because of this frickin' Titan, isn't it? You can't play it or it gets exiled. So what do we do instead? I guess I'll bind Lily. Oh, that sounds hot. I like using bindings on legendaries because if they play a second one, we can like play Spirit Sister's Call, sack a binding, they legend rule their own thing, and we get something else back. We're gonna have to keep an eye on Make Disappear before we just slam Titan. So let's see what happens. You know they've got to kill the Reflection. There's the Appraiser. We got him. I mean, got him. By got him, we mean they had to eat their own buddy instead of our Titan, which we hope to reanimate. They do have Make Disappear mana open, don't they? But this Blossom Prancer is something we can copy with Reflection, and we can pay for a Make Disappear. One-upped by the spirit. Got him. All right, let's see if we hit. The Weatherseed Treaty. Opponent's like, huh? All right, don't snap copy. You know they want to use removal on it. So we have to hold it up. We're now in a staring match. They have to hold up mana for the removal, and if they think they're going to get us, they have to wait till we activate. But we don't have to activate. We can just not do it. And then they have to keep their mana up. The Tainted! Okay, their mana is not up. They're going to probably deal 3 damage to this. Okay. The play is 3 damage to the reflection. In response, here on end step, I will make another Blossoming Prancer, who will hopefully get a Kami War. All right, more calls. Now I do wish I could get this Titan in the graveyard, since I have a creature to sacrifice. But I guess we can attack with both. Sacrifice the living one to get the other one back. That sounds pretty hype. And also just slam the Titan. But you know me, always trying to get value. Don't have an answer to the Solkanar, so I do need to keep digging. So getting another Prancer could find it. Either a Binding or a Kami War. Would be an interesting call to just take it. They do not. Okay. The call, the call. The treaty. What do we need? We need the island for the full 5. Reprancing. Oh my god, the Prancer is busted. All right, so we got a Binding, but we don't have the mana to cast it. We have a Titan. I guess that goes to the bottom. Oh, baby. Oh, baby. I should be ready for a Sheldred. If I take this 5, the Prancer's so good, but if the Prancer's in the graveyard... Oh, we might get hooked? If the Prancer's in the graveyard, we can get it back, unless they play another Corpse Appraiser here, which they might. Which they definitely might. I guess I'll take this block. Yeah, they might hook for 1 and then appraise. Oh, they're just... Okay, they want so badly to appraise. They're going to appraise their own appraiser. It's like a Spider-Man meme, but in a morgue. It's a sad Spider-Man meme. All right, Kaido. Pretty good. They're going to get a nice little card reload here.
I know something you don't know.
I get a Sapperling. Now I can get back a creature if one were to die, but it probably won't. One of mine, that is. So I guess we're going to play Titan. Yeah, we're going to play Titan. We can sack the Weather Seed Treaty, and we can get back Fable. Or we can get Teachings and try to keep filling the graveyard, but the opponent is pretty good at hating on the graveyard. Roar! All right, modes. Shield counter. Put that on the big one. 4/4. Make this board pretty tough to beat. End of turn. Let's get back this Fable. Let's sacrifice this treaty. I know it's a lot of damage potentially next turn, but we have another one that the opponent doesn't even know about. So now they don't plan on the +5/+5 and trample. Hook is for 6, not 7. Keeps Titan alive. And it can block. It's hard to Grixis mid-range something that goes this far over the top. They're starting to get worried about their Solkanar, so sure, I'll block you. I trade Solkanar for a shield counter. Okay, opponent.
Thanks. I'll be taking that now.
Ah, there's your hook. Okay. Is it lethal if I bind the hook and they don't gain the life? 12, 7 + 5. Yeah, it's potentially lethal. Let's go for it. they have a make disappear, they could use it. Might be what they're thinking about. Yep. All right, they go to 15. We draw. Two Spirit Sisters calls could be useful. We do have 2 enchantments to sacrifice to get back 2 enchantments, but I think it's overkill here. Let's just try to dig. Kami War, not bad. Yeah, almost lethal, but not quite. So we'll play Kami War. Take out the Kaido. We'll attack our opponent's face with the 7/7. And we'll tick this in slow-mo. Actually, we'll put that on 2. We don't need the land, but the 1/1 we can turn into... No, we can't. It's not here. I thought the Kami was here. It's really... Guys, it's very hard to keep track of what's exiled and what's not. So I need mercy. I need mercy from the comments. It's really hard to remember what got exiled, because that is the effect gained from being brought back by the call in the first place. They pass. Return up to 1 permanent to hand. And then the opponent discards. We could give them a Sheldred and get back the binding, and then use it on something else. That doesn't sound particularly good. We could do that with Liliana too, and then just attack Liliana. They're at 8 though. They're probably going to remove this. They have to remove this or they die, right? Kind of a tricky call, to be honest. Yeah, I think I like this. Because I think what's going to happen is they're going to kill the Titan, because they have to or they die. And then we can attack down the Lily before they get a chance to use her with the 2 creatures. And they discard a card. Worst case scenario, we just replay the binding on the Lily and they still discard a card, and it's not that different. Also, if they have a March, maybe we can just get our own thing. It has to be something an opponent controls. Yep, there's the removal. No surprise. Our opponent goes to 6. This flips. Discard, decline. These go here. Titan's in the graveyard.
It's no fun when they hit back.
All right. Get Titan and get... Weatherseed Treaty? So, this is for the one targeting the Titan. No, this is... Okay, which one am I on? This is for the treaty. So we're sacrificing the other Spirit Sisters call for the treaty. I'm going to set it on 2. So it's threatening to go lethal next turn. Then we sacrifice the 1/1 to get the Titan. The Titan gains a shield counter. And let's destroy the hook. Too many options, man. All right, so hook can be... Hook off the top is for 7. It can wipe the whole board. They're at 8. Let's just go for protecting the Titan. Blood token, go sack. Make disappear, no good. Off the top is Takenuma. Returning. The Tainted. And that's a GG's. Roar! So strong. Mega Titan. Satisfying. And we are back for the post-game wrap and the stats review, and that is about the sickest stat line you will ever see anywhere. Just the straight line right there at the top. A 4-0, a lot of work for a 4-0, a lot of effort. And from the matchups, we played against a green-white deck with a pretty slow hand, and then we played against mono-black, then Grixis and blue-white mid-range. So plenty of mid-range in the action. No real fast aggro deck tested us. No mono blue tempo tested us. I think against an aggro deck, you really do need a very good draw. I don't think it's impossible, but if you go turn 2 Teachings into turn 3 Fable, and then you get to make a treasure, and you get to just basically start gumming up the ground ad nauseum and maybe make it to Kami War, you should probably be able to win the games, or you just somehow Spirit Sister out a Titan on turn 4, right? You should be able to win the games against aggro occasionally, but I bet they're a lot tougher than what you saw today. Mono blue. Mono blue seems like a terrible matchup considering our mostly lack of instant speed interaction. Leyline Binding's really all that we've got, and they're good at playing around 1 or 2, like a low number of spot removal spells. So against mono blue, you're probably just slamming your sagas, hoping that the last thing that gets through is Spirit Sister's Call, and that it's able to start recurring a bunch of what you need to win the game. But the deck has legs. It is definitely the biggest pile of value that you can play in a mid-range type meta. It's probably going to drive decks like Grixis and Mono Black absolutely insane. And since those are still a huge part of the meta, it's good enough reason, I think, to craft this deck if you're not very far away from it. Probably not if you need like 18 wild cards, but if you're like me and you're a few Spirit Sisters calls away from the list, like that's probably worth a craft because it's a really good time, it's a challenge, and it's very, very fun. So another thanks goes out to Alarmabot for playing a pretty sweet brew in the MTGO events this weekend, and I hope you enjoy it. And if not, enjoy watching the video. It's a really fun deck to play. Thank you for watching this video. As always, I will see you in the next video. You stayed till the end. I appreciate that. You're cool.